Hello everybody, I'm out with Shadow. We're off leash on our walk today. This is actually my first time working with her. Josh has done all the work prior and we're in heel. Got out in the morning to beat the heat. Look at this perfect spot. So let's talk about e-collar heel. Notice I'm not using a leash, right? So all the training is on this e-collar. So when we're walking her, we don't want her pulling us. We don't want her lunging. We don't want her dragging us places or jumping on us. This is our accountability. So when we look down and she's in heel, we want her head to be to the left and slightly behind our left leg. I tap the tone there. We can hold her accountable for staying there with our e-collar, like I just did with that tone. So the tone button is on the side. It has a T on it, and that's the button you'll push if her head moves out of that position, whether it goes too far forward, too far to the left, too far back, or behind your legs. I notice she's moving with me, and she's doing a really good job staying in that perfect position there. Wonderful job, Shadow. You're living up to your name. You're literally my shadow today. So we could walk, I feel, miles like this. It's such an enjoyable walk. No pulling, no lunging. You don't even really need the leash. You'll have the leash because of leash laws, but all the training, like I said, is on this collar. So we're gonna go to a shady spot here. This is just so nice. Let's see what happens when I stop. Good girl. I stop, she sits. It's automatic. That's what we've trained her to do. Good. And notice how she's staying. That's also understood. She's just come so far from drop off. Remember drop off, they couldn't get her to sit. They couldn't get her to stay. She was whining, she was barking, lunging. And now I'm not even holding a leash and she's doing everything perfectly. I'm going to show her how proud I am. Good girl. I also remember at drop off, they were trying to get her to lay down and she wouldn't do it. And then she was barking at them and then she would break it after a second or two. Good. Let's test that out right now. Down. Oh, good girl. Oh, she remembered she was stubborn. So watch this. Instead of begging her or bribing her, I'm just going to give her one click. Right? And then she says, oh, maybe I should listen. That's our accountability button. I'm going to keep clicking. And she lays down. Good girl. Good girl. I started at a 10. My first click was at a 10. My second click was probably at like a 13. Still wasn't motivating her, so then I made it to a 17. That click at the 17 reminded her, oh, that's right, I have to listen. Good girl. Very nice. Oh, and she's so proud. She wants belly rubs. Good job. All right. Nope. Stay. And then we can also work on our stay. So she broke her down. So I'm just going to click here. She goes back into her down. Good girl. And now let's work on the stay. Stay. I'm going to be nice and clear. We're not going to say it more than once. If she breaks the stay after the first one, that's when we click the black ass button. So we can start to provide distractions and distance, something that might get her to break command. And if she does break command, we can say no, and we can click the e-collar, and this is how we hold her accountable for her known commands. It's the opposite of what they were trying before, which was constantly bribing. And it always gave her the choice. And that doesn't make it very reliable in the real world. Good job, Shadow. Good girl. Let's try a recall. Before, they didn't really have her off leash because they weren't sure how great her recall was. We use recall with the tone. So it's going to be a verbal C-O-M-E paired with the tone button here. I'm going to praise her when she's on her way, and I'm going to give her pets when she gets here. Shadow. Good. Do you see that little moment right there? It's hard to see on camera, but I said her name and she turned her head and looked at me. We worked so hard on that because before you would say her name and she literally would look the other way. Okay, good girl. So she's already looking at me. I don't need to say her name again. Shadow. There it is. Good girl. Come. Good girl. Tap my tone. Good girl. Praise. Pet. She comes and sits. Notice she doesn't come and jump. Notice she doesn't come and run past me. And she doesn't come and turn around and run away again. She comes and stays, right? Gets her pets. And now the only way out of the sit stay is either a release, another command, or I can put her in a down stay. So I'm going to first show you how we get her back into the heel, and then I'll show you her release. Okay? So to get her back into the heel, we're going to tap the tone, say heel, and start walking. heel, and we're right back into that heel. Perfect position. Beautiful job, Shadow. I stop, she sits. Oh, you are just too good. Stay. I want to try that DOWN again because I want to try to see if she'll listen to me on verbal only. Oh, you're going to do it automatically. She's too smart. She says, you know what, the last time here, she asked me to DOWN, so now I'm just going to do it on my own. That's a good girl. This is a dog who's doing what she thinks I want versus what she wants, which is what they saw at drop off. She did not want to listen. Good girl. Let's show you the release. Shadow, good. Break, good job, baby. We've got Shadow upstairs on plate. Reagan's in a downstay. Josh is cleaning. Great real life example of application of structure, right? So during cleaning, we don't want our dogs just wandering all over our house aimlessly. We want to have them put in a place where they won't be in the way, right? But also where they're not going to go off and find mischief. It also reinforces the training that we've worked so hard on. Impulse control and boundaries, right? So place command is on a place bed and downstay can be anywhere. Good job, guys.